If you have pectus excavatum, so your chest is sunken in, there are really 4 key areas that you want to build muscle that when you build these areas will actually make your condition look a lot less noticeable. The first area is the chest. Now, obviously, if you have a sunken chest, if you have no chest muscle around that, it really accentuates it and it makes it look very obvious that the reason your chest is indented is because you have a deformity and your bone, like if you just see like bones and a real bony, skinny chest and then just goes in the middle, it's pretty obvious you're deformed. Whereas if you build your pecs and you get big sculpted pecs around the deformity, it really helps mask it. It draws the, if someone's looking at you, it draws their eyes away from the deformity and just onto your good physique and your good developed chest. And it almost makes your chest look bigger, your pecs look bigger, and therefore it makes the indent associated with pectus excavatum almost look like it's there because you have big pecs, not because you have a deformed chest. So that's a really key thing in developing the chest. Now, this definitely does work better if you have like a milder pectus. The deeper your pectus is, the more building your chest isn't just going to make it look unnoticeable, but it will still help. It still helps having developed pec muscles. Like I'll show you severe examples here, and it still helps with masking it and making it look a lot better. Now, we have pec fibers across our entire chest that run this way. Okay, so people like to hate on me when I say you're in the chest, okay? But there are non-spanning chest fibers that just go to here, that when you do things with the proper form, you can recruit more. And so something I've found is, I see a mistake where a lot of people have like pec development out here and not a full and whole and sculpted chest. So you do want to be targeting your chest training to ensure you're doing a lot of adduction-based full range of motion training to get those non-spanning chest fibers around the indent engaged. You also want to be making sure you're getting your lower pecs developed, because what happens when you get your lower pecs developed is they separate from the ribs. And what's common with pectus beyond the sunken chest is rib flare. And so when you get your pecs obviously separating from the ribs, okay, and you get them protruding more than the ribs, it helps mask the rib flare as well. And for me personally, the rib flare annoyed me more than the sunken chest. So that's another benefit of building the chest. So when you're building your chest, I want you to think about building your entire whole full sculpted chest, upper, lower, the whole thing, okay? And so what we want to be doing when we're training chest then is making sure we're implementing big compound movements and also isolation movements, focusing on adduction and pressing, the 2 major movement patterns that engage the chest, okay? And we really want to be making sure we're doing a solid mind-to-muscle connection with good form, because a lot of people's arms end up developing when they're training chest because they're not doing it properly. Okay. That's the chest. The next major muscle to develop is the abs. When you develop abs over your ribs, it really helps mask the rib flare. When you develop abs and a six-pack, like that is the one thing, if you notice someone topless about their physique, probably more than any other muscle, is just a six-pack. And you're like, wow, they look great. And what happens when you look great and you have a good body, a good fit body, is it distracts from the deformity, okay? So that's one of the huge benefits of abs. And the other big benefit is they're obviously placed over the ribs, and so that helps mask the rib flare, okay? Now, something else I find is when you really develop your upper abs. So you can see like I've got muscle in here, okay? Right near where my sunken chest is, okay? All of this helps to mask that area. So really developing the abs is key, and you want to get big sculpted abs, not just skinny guy abs. You can be low body fat percentage with no muscle and have abs, but they just look like skinny abs. You actually want to develop them so they're big and sculpted and have actual size and shape and structure. And this enables you to have abs more sustainably. It enables your abs to show more when you're not flexing, and it enables your abs to show more at a higher body fat percentage, which is, as I said, more sustainable year round. The next key muscle is the obliques, for the exact same reason as the abs, okay? But these are going to relate even more to your rib flare. Now, there's something to it when you start training your abs and your obliques and you get a strong core in terms of holding your ribs down as well. I'm not sure on the science of it. All I know from personal experience and from working with thousands of clients, when they get strong abs and obliques, their rib flare becomes less prominent and they're able to hold their ribs down easier. Okay, it's something that, like, when I'm walking around, I have a subtle degree of flexion in my abs and abdominals, and it's easy because they're like developed. And so this just enables me to like hold my ribs down. And so, yeah, it's just more of a reason that developing your obliques, really targeting rotational exercises to develop your obliques and developing your abs is key. And then the last muscle that is a key muscle for developing when it comes to pectus is your back. Now, obviously your back is made up of lots of muscles, traps, lats, etc., rhomboids, etc. But I'm talking about just your back overall, okay? We want to develop your back, and the reason is posture. Okay, the big mistake, if I tell you to start training your chest and you just do chest, what happens is these pecs get really tight, that pulls you round and forward and makes your posture worse, makes your pectus look worse. If you've watched me, you will know. I talk about this all the time. And so what happens when we develop our back is we offset that, and that helps strengthen this posture and keep you in a better posture. And what happens when you're in your shoulders back, like good proper posture, instead of a sunken in posture like this, is it makes the indent look better. Like, do it. More obvious, do it. Way better. And developing the back helps you maintain this posture habitually, easily. Okay, so developing the back is key for that reason. So we want to be doing a lot of rows, focusing on shoulder blades back and down and pulling. Okay, rows, pull downs, chin ups, all kinds of back exercises. Okay, we want to develop our entire back. Now, they are the key areas, but I'd still recommend you train arms, legs, the whole thing, right? We want to have an aesthetic physique overall, because an overall aesthetic body is going to distract from the condition and distract from your deformity. People are just going to look at you and think you look great, and you're going to be confident in your body, confident to take off your shirt, and you will overcome the condition and fix it, which in my definition is building a body, your best body, one that makes the condition look as least noticeable as possible, so much so that you'll be confident in your body. If you are looking for help, then it is the new year approaching, and I am taking on client spots for 2024.